Hello, and welcome to the online information sessions for the City Center Banners 2022 Call for Artists. I'd like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the land we're on. This land acknowledgement was developed by the Mohkinstsis Public Art Guiding Circle. The Calgary area where the Bow and Elbow Rivers meet is a place of confluence where the sharing of ideas and opportunities naturally come together. Indigenous peoples have their own names for this area that have been in use long before Scottish settlers named this place Calgary. The Métis call the area Otusquani. In the Blackfoot area language, they call this place Mohkinstsis. The Stoney Nakoda, sorry, my cat is coming at me, trying to get into the picture. The Stoney Nakoda Nation refer to the Calgary area as Wechispa Oyade, and the people of the Tsuut'ina Nation call this area Guutsis. We would like to acknowledge that this project will be located on the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. This includes the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai, collectively known as the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Îethka, Nakota, Wisk-Tabe First Nations comprised of the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. The city of Calgary is also homeland to the historic Northwest Métis and to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. We acknowledge all Indigenous urban Calgarians, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis who have made Calgary their home. My name is Heather Campbell. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am public art project lead. I'm a public art project lead at Calgary Arts Development. I am the main contact person for this program, so you may reach out to me directly if you have any questions or need support applying. My co-host today is Helen Hu. She is the public art administrator, and she'll also be available to help with any questions you may have for the public art team. Just going to let one more person in. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. She'll also be available to help with any questions you may have for the public art team. publicart@calgaryartsdevelopment.com is a good go-to email address if you ever have any questions about CADA or the public art program. Today's presentation will start with a review of Calgary Arts Development. Calgary Art Development and the Public Art Program will run through the Center City Banner Call for Artists to hopefully provide more context around the program and this opportunity. Next, we'll run through a tutorial on registering for Smart Simple and applying for this call. And finally, we'll have time for questions. Let's start with a review of CADA, how we work, and how we can support you. Calgary Arts Development was announced as the new operator for Calgary's public art program in March of 2021. The City of Calgary and Calgary Arts Development are working together to gradually transition over the course of 3 years the operations of the program, including community programming, calls for artists, community engagement, and the procurement of new public art to the collection. Full transition will be complete in 2024, and we'll continue to work together into the future once the transition has been completed. The current municipal public art collection will continue to exist with the City of Calgary, while CADA will contribute to it. The city will also continue with the conservation and maintenance of the collection. CADA is the city's designated arts development authority. Calgary Arts Development supports and strengthens the arts to benefit all Calgarians. We invest and allocate municipal funding for the arts provided by the City of Calgary and leverage these funds to provide additional resources to the arts sector. Our programs support hundreds of arts organizations, individual artists, collectives, and ad hoc groups in Calgary. CADA has been working to approach our engagement and selection processes through an equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility lens. We acknowledge that systems like calls for artists are often designed to fit the dominant culture while creating barriers for many others. Because of this, we aim to continue learning more from our communities about the specific challenges and barriers that exist, creating more entry points for access, and working with applicants in various ways. We acknowledge that we still have lots of work to do on an individual, organizational, and systemic level. We encourage and welcome you to get in touch if you have found barriers while learning about this call, while making your application, or any time in the process, and we'll work to provide support for you and your practice. We will strive to work with applicants in a more one-size-fits-one way. So get in touch with us to start the conversation. Nothing about us without us is the belief that if you're creating work about a specific community, that community needs to be actively engaged and consulted, and there needs to be clear, intentional, and reciprocal relationships. We value and honor lived experience and the intersectional and unique experiences of different people and communities. Virtuous cycles. In the context of our programs, it means that every time you do something, it creates a positive feedback loop that moves you forward in a productive way. For us, when we run a program, we try to learn and adjust. It isn't about doing everything perfectly or doing something because it's always been done that way, or about maintaining the status quo. It's about asking yourself, how will this project create a virtuous rather than a vicious cycle for you in your practice, whereby you can learn through not only success, but also through failure. We value process and the idea and experience of failing forward. Calgary Arts Development's main purpose is to steward public dollars for public good, and that means for all Calgarians. This means that we have a responsibility to design programs that are accessible and open to all perspectives and experiences that exist in our communities. We recognize that barriers to access exist for many artists who are interested in applying. Calls to artists are written in English, shared online, and require applicants to submit online applications, documents, and reports in English. This creates technological, linguistic, communication, and cultural barriers, to name a few. So in recognition of these barriers to access, eligible applicants can request assistance to help alleviate some of the costs associated with preparing and submitting an application. So who can request assistance? Applicants who identify as deaf, hard of hearing, blind, loss of sight, have a disability, or live with a mental illness. Also those facing language or cultural barriers. Please don't hesitate to reach out for any questions or for clarifications. Again, the best email is publicart@calgaryartsdevelopment.com, or you can phone us at 403-264-5330, extension 221. And to request application assistance, please contact at least 2 weeks before the submission deadline, which is the 16th of August. Now I'll run through the Center City Banners call for artists to hopefully provide more clarity around how to develop your application. This call is open to visual artists residing within the city of Calgary or the surrounding areas within a 75-kilometer radius with strong connections to Calgary. All artists at various stages of their careers are welcome to apply. We encourage submissions from artists that are typically underrepresented, including Indigenous, Black, and people of color, LGBTQIA2S+, identifying individuals, deaf persons, and persons with disabilities. Artists should live in or near Calgary to work with the project team, as travel is not provided. Experience working with commissions, project teams, and managing similar sized budgets and projects is an asset, but not a requirement. Here's a quick overview of artist selection dates and the first artist's timeline. So applications are being accepted until the 16th of August, 2022 by 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Late submissions will not be accepted. The selection process will continue until all the applications have been evaluated and up to 3 artists are selected. Notifications will go out via email in early September, letting applicants know if they were successful or not. And then That first artist is contracted at the end of September. Their artist development will start in October, and the first artist's approvals for the artwork should be in January, for the installation in May. The second artist contract will be contracted in September of 2023, installation for May 2024. The third artist contracted will be in September 2024, installation to happen May 2025. We will work with the artists to arrange the order of which artists go for second and third, depending on their schedules and needs. Calgary Arts Development and the City of Calgary invite artists to submit qualifications for consideration in the design of banner artworks installed on streetlight poles on 6 bridges and streets in the downtown area. Up to 3 artists will be selected through this call to artists. Each artist will create 6 original designs, which will be displayed on banners across the city for approximately 1 year. Artists that are selected will work collaboratively with CADA and the city to develop and refine a thematic concept that considers the multiple contexts of Calgary and the communities in which the banners will be displayed. Designs will be installed between 2023 and 2025. This is McDonald Bridge, McDonald Avenue Southeast, going into the community of Ramsey, adjacent to the Stampede grounds. Just one of the 6 bridges. The Center City Banner Program is an initiative led by the city's downtown strategy with assistance from the city's public art program. Since 2008, this program has provided local artists with an opportunity to create banner artwork that has contributed to the vitality and attractiveness of Calgary's core. As part of the new direction for public art, Calgary Arts Development, CADA, will work with the city to run the 2022 Call to Artists. The artwork is generally replaced annually with a new vision and theme to welcome people to the core. In the past, artists have explored Calgary's unique characteristics in the banner design, from history, community, and natural landscapes. Overall, the banner designs have been celebratory in nature and have provided vibrancy to the public realm. This opportunity is a way for visual artists to break into the discipline of public art. Banners have been displayed on gateways into the downtown area, including the McDonald, Louise, which is the 10th Street Bridge, Milwata, which is 14th Street, Reconciliation, which is 4th Street Northeast, and Center Street, and the Center Street Bridges, and the Olympic Plaza Pergola. These spaces become open-air art galleries, welcoming people to the downtown and creating a narrative for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers. This is the Center Street Bridge, and you can see the vibrant banners that are on display there. So program objectives. The objectives for the Center City Banner Program are to enhance the streetscape and provide a vibrant and colorful statement, highlight gateways into the downtown, and celebrate Calgary's cultures, communities, histories, geography, and diversity. The selected artists will develop and refine an original concept and 6 unique designs that considers the multiple contexts of the city of Calgary and the communities in which the banners will be displayed. They'll submit their design to the project team for comments, revisions, and approvals, participating and responding to those comments and revisions from the project team. They'll liaise with the city's pre-qualified printer to ensure they're preparing files that can be successfully printed digitally, review and provide comments on color samples and printing proofs for quality control, develop and supply an installation layout plan for each install site. This layout plan will identify which designs are to be installed on which poles, which directions the artwork will face, and whether any mirroring is required. They'll develop and provide an artist bio and artwork statement that can be used in communications about the program. They'll work with CADA staff like me to communicate project development. And just to note that the artist's scope of work and budget does not include printing, installing, or maintaining the banners. These tasks will be financed separately and managed by the City of Calgary. So technical considerations, the artworks must be colorful, bright and bold colors are required as they fade less across the 1 year viewing period. Overly pale, light gray or sky blue colors are discouraged as they blend into the background. Final artwork design should contain appropriate levels of detail and scale for viewing by pedestrians, motorists, and cyclists from a distance. Artwork must be original to the artist and created for the purpose of this call. To see some of the past works, you can visit the City of Calgary's website for the Center City banners. I've collected a few examples of previous banner designs that have been very successful. As you can see, they're bright, bold colors with lots of contrast and varying size details for different viewers. There's the next group that I selected from the previous art banner programming. Yeah. Submission requirements include a letter of interest that explains your interest in this opportunity, your connection to Calgary and the Treaty 7 region, maximum of 500 words. This will be evaluated based on how your background and practice will contribute to the project and your understanding and connection to project goals. Your artist CV or resume, that includes previous experience, email and contact information. This will be evaluated based on your demonstration of relevant experience in public art, visual art, and or design. We'll need an artist statement that describes your current artistic practice and the themes in your work. This will be evaluated upon your indication of a connection between your work, your approach to making your artistic trajectory, and the project. Portfolio, we need 10 images of completed artworks uploaded as individual media files. The following information must be included for each image: title, date, size, materials, and a brief description. This will be evaluated based on how clear your artistic vision is, how strong your execution of that vision has been, your artistic skills, and the approach needed to deliver a compelling design. We're not looking for ideas or concepts for this project or for this application, as we want to ensure you're compensated for that time. So design and development will be after the artist is contracted. The word counts indicated are maximums and not necessarily the goal. Assessors will not be evaluating writing styles, but rather the connection between the content submitted and the criteria in the call to artists. Assessors generally consider the portfolio and the letter of interest as the best indicator of an artist's application and what they're capable of. So just a reminder to put your best images forward and submit images that show you are a strong applicant. Remember that you're not expected to be everything to everyone, and your application will not benefit from trying to write or represent yourself in a way that you think assessors might want to see. Using plain language rather than academic or art speak, as it is often clearer and more concise. Try to avoid jargon or technical language, remembering that the selection committee will be made up of people from many different perspectives and experiences. Don't assume that they will understand your specific practice or language. If you're speaking about something that is unique to your discipline or practice, be sure to define it. And as assessors really appreciate being able to easily read and understand your application. It can be tempting to paint a rosy picture of your practice and work, but having an appreciative sense of what challenges and barriers you might experience in your work and how you might move through them actually demonstrates capacity, awareness, and potential. Do your research, make sure you're fulfilling the requests of the call, and understand what we require to evaluate your submission. It's also really helpful to have someone who may not be familiar with your discipline or your work to read your application. The questions they ask could uncover gaps or assumptions you're making in the story you're telling. And remember to contact us early if you require assistance. Just as a quick prompt about questions, so feel free to enter them into the chat as we go, or write them down and ask them during the Q&A period, or you can email them anytime after this presentation to myself or Helen or the general email. Yeah, okay. Now on to a tutorial on registering for Smart Simple and applying for this call. So whether you're registering for the first time or logging into your already created account, you can access Smart Simple through the CADA website. You'll need to create your login profile to access the online application forms. One thing to note is that throughout CADA's website, there is a lot of information from public art opportunities, grant investment programs, to what's available in our community. Before you begin applying for this program, you'll want to go over the project guidelines and eligibility thoroughly. So let's say you've done that and you're ready to apply for our program. From the top menu bar, you'll see the grant login. Click on that, and it may be good to bookmark it for future use. Then you'll navigate to the bottom left portion of the page and click register. This is also where you'll log into your account once it's been created. There are different registration options when creating an account. So for this information session, due to eligibility for the call, I'll take you through the registration and application for an individual artist. Throughout the portal, there'll be instructions at the top of the page. It's good to read these instructions as they have helpful tips and links. Enter your contact information, including your email address, which will be your username whenever you need to access this platform. Then check off "I am not a robot" and click submit. And you'll receive a welcome email with a temporary password to confirm your account and set your new password. This is what that email looks like. And then you'll just click on the link to change your password. Now that you're registered with Smart Simple, let's review how to finish your profile, and then we'll delve into the application. Okay, so here I am at the CADA website. I'll go to grant login. We've created a testing fake account for the purpose of this tutorial only. Let me just press login. All right, so here is your portal. Each of the icons require either an action from you or information for you to access. First, I'll click on my profile icon. You'll need to complete your profile before you can apply to the call. So here is an example of an instruction box that's throughout the portal. You'll see them, and it's always good to give them a read before you start and proceed to the rest of the page, as they'll provide vital information or tips on applying and using the portal. So here you can just enter in your general details. If you're interested, in the contact information, you'll want to keep it up to date, because this is the email and phone number we'll use to contact you about your profile or applications. And the mailing address is where your T4A tax form would be sent come tax time if you're successful in getting a grant or being commissioned for a project. So then you can fill in your years of experience. So I'll just say Jimmy, I think that's his name. Oh, sorry, Joey has been active as an artist for 3 to 5 years. Artistic discipline, visual arts, community and social practice, and public art. Do I have an interest in being considered as an assessor? Yes, I do, because that can be a great way to get information on what assessors are actually looking for in an application. And yeah, I've found it very useful. Yeah, and if you do say yes, our specialists will contact you once they're ready for the assessment process for future programs. Now we get to the area where you upload your artist resume and CV. Once you load your resume, it'll be ported over to the application where you're applying for a program. The good thing with this is that if your resume ever changes throughout the year, you can always update it here. So I'm going to upload, so I've uploaded a CV here. So I'm just going to show you how you delete that if you, let's say, uploaded the wrong one, or you've made an update to the one that's uploaded. So you then just press delete. Are you sure you want to delete that? Yes. And then to upload, you just press this button, which will open the file manager. As you can see, the maximum file size is 2 gigabytes, which is quite a lot. So shouldn't have any issues. And then your allowed file types for this file manager are PDF only. That will change depending on what we're looking for. So then you go to browse. I'll go to my CV file. Finished, upload complete. And then if you wanted to rename that, you could do that there. Right, I'll close this. Yeah, and actually, I'll just show you if I try to upload a file that isn't allowed, like a JPEG, for example, it will say, no, this isn't acceptable. Please delete that and go forward with the right kinds of file. All right, now for your artistic practice statement. This is where you described your artistic practice, and it will be, and just like the CV, it will be ported over to your application. I've copied and pasted just an artist statement tutorial that I found online, pasted it in here. And as you can see at the bottom, it shows your word count. So if you're over, you can try to adjust your text here or in your original document. And then here's where you enter your social media links. It's not necessary, but it's not necessary since it's not mandatory, but it can be useful. And then click Save Your Work. And if there was anything that I had missed, it would show me. Here, I'll just show you what that looks like now, just for fun. Save my work, submit profile, and it says submission failed due to the following. Artist discipline cannot be empty. So I'll go back and add in those ones and submit profile. Okay. Now that you're finished with your profile, click on the home button back to the main page. So the next is the frequently asked question button. At the moment, there are links to helpful pages on the CADA website and contact information if you need assistance. I can show you what that looks like. Yeah, not a lot of information there right now, but it'll have links to some good stuff and also email addresses to get in touch. All right, now the third icon is open opportunities. This is where you can apply and see what funding programs are available for you to apply to. The number here indicates how many programs are open and available. Right now we have the 2 funding programs that are open. So let's click on that. Here you'll see the type of program, funding opportunities, description, deadline, guidelines here that will take you so you can start to a downloaded version of the program, and then the apply button so that you can start applying when you go through so that you can start applying and it'll take you through the application. So let's click on the apply button to see what that looks like. Now here's another information box before we get in there. Tips, you can save draft to save your progress for later, log out and come back in. Application form is divided into different tabs, so make sure you're looking for that. And yeah, begin the application. So first we've got a couple information boxes that are good to read. Just reminding you to keep saving your draft so you don't lose information, and where you can find more. Oh, hello. Okay, great. So we've got the status of your application. It's in draft, organization, individual artists, your name, ID. This is the deadline for the call. And then once you've done that, you can print and view it in a, so you can see what the assessors will see. So the first tab is called contact information. So this information is being ported over from your profile. So if you need to make any changes to this section, you'll have to go back to your profile and answer them there, or change them there, pardon me. Then we go to the second tab, project overview. This is where we want you to submit your support materials. Okay, so there we go. Just catching up with my notes. Okay, so again, instructions at the top, and for everything that's mandatory, when you try to save and validate, it will let you know that this needs to be added in or needs to be changed. So for this call, we are requiring a letter of interest and media files for your portfolio. So here, this is a text box. So I'm just going to grab a snippet of text to put in my letter of interest. As you can see, I've got it pretty close, one word left, and you can edit it within there. 500 words max. And then for your support material, this is where we want you to upload your this is where we want to upload all of the images of your work that will support your application. So we go into the file manager. Now you can see that the maximum file size, 2 gigabytes, maximum number of files, 10. This is actually a mandatory amount as well. You need to submit 10 images. If you, let's say, have just moved here from another country and your portfolio, you don't have everything, I would suggest maybe doing detail shots and then a larger image of the previous work, whatever you can do to support your case and show that you're the right fit. Yeah, so we'll just browse here. I actually think that, I'm not sure it will let me upload this document. See, there we go. We've got a file that is not allowed. We need to be uploading JPEGs and movie or audio files. So I'll just, yeah, you can come back in a later time if you need to, like adjust what you're doing. And I'm just going to find an image here. Sorry, I thought I had an image ready and I do not. So we'll come back to this, but it's essentially the same thing. You're uploading JPEGs and doing that. I'm just going to create one right now so that I have an example to show you on how to upload an image. So let's see here. As export and just put that over here. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry, everyone. That was silly. Okay, so we go into browse, find my JPEG example, upload. You can do multiple images at a time. And if you ever need to rename them or delete them individually, you can do that there. I'll close this. And now we've got your photo library. So to edit your metadata, you want to click this button. And this is where, again, you can change the title. So example of work. We've got the date it was completed. Well, that's today. Your physical dimensions for the work. I'll say 8.5 by 11 inches. Material or medium, digital image, brief description, and example of my exceptional. Okay, there we go. And so that comes down here. Now, once I feel like I've done my application to the best of my ability, I'll save draft and then save and validate, and it'll let me know if there's an issue. Submission failed due to the following. I need to upload at least 10 images. And so I would then go down to the bottom here, upload the rest of my images, save and validate, and then once I'm ready, submit. So if you need to, please reach out early, ask specific questions, and remember, I cannot guarantee feedback if you do not reach out at least 1 week before the program deadline. I look forward to hearing from you and reading your applications. All right, everybody, thanks for listening and take care.